All right, welcome back here to the Hill. So a suspect on the terror watch list tonight is under arrest after crossing the border in Texas. DHS sources telling our Allie Bradley that the man from Colombia was apprehended in Eagle Pass last month in that area, believed to then be headed to Houston. It comes just a day after the Supreme Court temporarily blocked the law in the state of Texas that allows police to arrest illegal immigrants crossing the border. Joining us now, NewsNation legal contributor Jesse Weber. Hello, Jesse. Happy Super Tuesday. Talking now about the #1 issue to voters basically anywhere you go right now across this country. At least the polls tell us that. The Supreme Court case, what's it all about and what can we expect with it going forward?
Yeah, happy Super Tuesday, everybody. So, yeah, huge issue. This is about whether or not Texas's law, which actually criminalizes illegal immigration, right? This is not just Texas, like their Operation Lone Star, where they dedicate more resources to protecting the border. This is actually a law that criminalizes illegal entry. The question is it constitutional and what's going to happen? So the Supreme Court has temporarily halted this law from going into effect. They have until, I believe, March for the Texas to respond. I believe the Supreme Court is ultimately going to halt this in the indeterminate future. Why do I say that? Because number one, the Biden administration would have to show a likelihood that they would win on this case, and they will. This is clearly a federalism issue. This is clearly Texas getting involved in undermining the federal authority of the ability to handle immigration. And so I think that this is not going to ever go into effect. I think they're immediately going to halt this law. I can understand the rationale behind it, but I don't think it's going to have much legal success.
All right, also happening, Jesse, in that state, the Tesla CEO Elon Musk is weighing in on the Travis County District Attorney's race, the second wealthiest man in the world, weighing in on a local DA race. Bloomberg is reporting that Musk emailed his Tesla employees urging them to vote out the, quote, far-left district attorney. Now, in that email, Musk shared his support for the candidate Jeremy Silverstein, who will, quote, actually prosecute crimes while declaring it's, quote, time for a change. It is election day, Jesse, in that state. Is there anything wrong with CEOs telling their employees, you know what, vote for candidate X or Y?
From a legal point of view, no. Employers are not restricted from telling their employees or suggesting to their employees who to vote for. It gets into tricky territory if you end up punishing your employees for voting for a certain person, or you force them to vote for a certain person. But right now, this is just a mere suggestion. Elon Musk is in the clear in my eyes.
You guys got any beef with this?
No, I don't have a beef, but I have another question for Jesse, and that's this.
I'm here.
Having managed 100 lawyers, what comes after that, though, if he treats them differently because they didn't vote, or he thinks they didn't vote, if he cuts their salary or takes any negative action, real or perceived, against them, which is why I would never recommend any employer tell employees that who they should vote for or who not, because those lawsuits could follow, and HR would be cringing right now.
Scott, you said it right. Is he allowed to do it? Sure. Should he do it? No, that's a separate question. So I think we can all agree on that.
Jesse, it's Mick Mulvaney. Come back to the Texas thing for a second and help me, because I tend to agree with everything that you just said. Here's my question. How do you reconcile that with all the laws in the various jurisdictions about sanctuary cities? Isn't that the same thing in Texas on the other side of the coin, where they're not enforcing federal law when they should be?
You're talking about the Supreme Court case.
Exactly. How are sanctuary cities any different than what Texas is trying to do to enforce the law?
So really what this is an attempt by the state of Texas, to basically take control of immigration policy. It's criminalizing it. It would interfere with the asylum system we have set up. It would interfere with judges. It would interfere with the ICE program. And that's where the concern is. That is the difference between allowing something and now permitting it to happen. So I really don't believe that this is a situation where this law can stand. As I said before, it's different than allocating resources and the National Guard to protect the border versus criminalizing it. Remember, this would actually send these people to jail or allow a judge to deport them. That is not the authority of the state. And by the way, let me just say real quick, if you allow this to happen, you would potentially be allowing a state to interfere with America's position towards Mexico. That is a problem in and of itself.
It is interesting. And Mick, I was wondering some of the same, like, could Republicans use this and could we actually get agreement? You know who could do something? Congress. Congress could actually act.
Or the president.
Congress could
Jesse Weber, we got out.
So could the White House. You know, the federal government did their job. then Texas wouldn't feel the need to put all these extra
Oh, trust me, I could wind you all up on immigration if you want to do that, but we got to run the break real quick. Jesse Weber, NewsNation legal contributor. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you on soon. Come on back. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.